Good morning students. Today we will be seeing about the topic on operational amplifiers. So I will be handling for you your operational amplifiers and linear IC subject. So under module 1 we will be studying about the basic concepts of your operational amplifier. So first we will see the block diagram representation of an operational amplifier and the basic definition of your operational amplifier. So operational amplifier, generally we can define that it is nothing but a direct couple high gain amplifier where it is going to consist of one or more differential amplifiers and it is going to be followed by a level translator and an output stage. So here in this case, why the name we are going to have operational amplifiers is it is going to do operations on the mathematical functions there. So the mathematical functions can be your addition, subtraction, multiplication, integration. So here in this case when I want to do it, here I want to have the general amplifiers. You are going to see it is going to amplify your AC as well as your DC input signals. So now we will be seeing about your operational amplifier where we are going to have your differential amplifiers there. So why we call it as your direct couple high gain amplifier is the first stage of your differential amplifier is going to provide the necessary input impedance for your operational amplifier and the high gain is going to be provided by the intermediate stages of your differential amplifier there. So why we call it as direct coupled is the output of one stage of your differential amplifier is going to be directly connected to the second stage of your differential amplifier there. So we say that your operational amplifier is nothing but a direct coupled high gain amplifier which is going to consist of one or more differential amplifiers and it is going to be followed by a level translator and an output stage. So what is the purpose of your level translator is generally when your input voltage, when I am going to feed the input voltage to your amplifier, the difference, the input difference, if I am going to see, the difference between the input terminals of your operational amplifier should be 0 there. And if it is 0, my output should also be 0. But in practical conditions, my output of the differential amplifier will not be 0 because of the power variations and your variation in your beta, that is the temperature variations of your transistors and the beta parameters, your output of your differential amplifier will not be 0. So in order to make that output voltage to be 0, we are going to use a level translator there, where your level translator is going to be basically an emitter follower, where this emitter follower is going to provide the necessary current gain for the circuit. And next is the final stage is going to be an output stage, where your output stage is nothing but a push-pull or a complementary push-pull symmetry pair there. So this operational amplifier is going to be available in a single integrated circuit package and it can amplify both your AC signals as well as your DC signals. So here your operational amplifier picture, this is going to be the initial stages of your operational amplifier. The first figure shows that is a Philbrick operational amplifier where it was the initial stage. Then later on by dark covered, that's the next stage of your operational amplifier. And finally now this is how your IC looks, your op-amp IC looks. So your op-amp is nothing but your LM741 IC we are going to use, or you can use your 358P IC there. So next is your op-amp pin configuration. So in your op-amp pin diagram, your LM741C is going to consist of 8 pins, where this dot is going to represent your pin number 1. So here your pin number 1 and pin number 5 are going to be used as offset null. What is the purpose of offset null is, suppose if my input voltage is going to be 0, my output voltage should be 0. So when I am going to use my operational amplifier for precise applications, I need my output voltage to be 0. But in practical conditions, my output voltage will not be 0. So by using this offset null pins, pin number 1 and 5, I will see that my output voltage is going to be made 0 by connecting a potentiometer between your pin number 1 and 5. That is the purpose of offset null. The name itself tells it is offset null. Next is pin number 2. Pin number 2 is your inverting terminal of your operational amplifier. So inverting terminal of your operational amplifier is when your input is going to be given, our output will be just inverted there. Next is the third pin is going to be a non-inverting terminal there. And non-inverting is whatever input I am going to get without any phase reversal, I will be getting it at the output there. So next is your pin number 4. Pin number 4 is going to be your power supply. So your power supply is going to be minus VCC there, because we are going to use your transistor. So your differential amplifier basically consists of your transistor operation. So in that case we need two voltages, one is plus VCC and the other one is going to be a minus VCC, where this is going to be used for biasing your transistors. So pin number 4 is minus VCC, pin number 6 is output, and pin number 7 is going to be a plus VCC, and 8th pin is going to be no connection. So we are not going to have any connection over there. Next is, this is a symbol of your operational amplifier. So in a symbol of your operational amplifier, we are going to have two inputs. One input is going to be an inverting input and the other input can be a non-inverting input there. And your output is going to be pin number 6. Your pin number 4 is going to be your negative positive supply, and pin number 4 is going to be a negative supply, and pin number 7 is going to be your positive supply there. So this is the symbol of your operational amplifier. So the applications of your operational amplifier, if you are going to see, your applications, it can be used as a simple amplifiers, as a summer circuit in summers to add the signals, comparators to compare the signals, integrators to integrate your water signal we want to give, your differentiators, analog to digital converters, and we have a lot more applications where those applications are going to perform the basic mathematical operations there. So here the characteristics of your ideal op-amp, if you are going to see, it is going to have an infinite input impedance. So infinite input impedances, it is going to be about 2 mega ohms is going to be the input impedance of your operational amplifier. And next is, it is going to have low output impedance. So low output impedance is going to be in the range of ohms, that is about 200 ohms. Next, very large voltage gain, which is going to be at low frequency there. So here your large voltage gain is, there is going to be gain itself is output by input. So in that case my op-amp should have a large voltage gain at low frequencies there. So here in this we say that open loop gain is going to be around 2 lakh. Next is infinite bandwidth. So infinite bandwidth is, you are going to be whatever frequencies I am going to use within this bandwidth, it is all going to be amplified without any distortion there. No slew rate. So no slew rate is nothing but your output is going to change instantaneously when the input changes there. So that means that there is going to be no delay between the change in input and change in output there. So next we are going to see your block diagram representation of a typical op-amp. So as I said, your block diagram, your first stage is going to consist of your input stage, and your intermediate stage are going to consist of your differential amplifiers. So to the input stage we are going to have two inputs. One is non-inverting input and the other one is going to be an inverting input. So the construction how it is going to be is, the input stage is going to be a dual input. There is two inputs we are going to give balanced output differential amplifier. So balanced output means at both the terminals of your transistors we will be taking, both the collector terminal of your transistors will be taking the output. So that is called balanced output differential amplifier there. And this input stage will be given to an intermediate stage. So the input stage is mainly responsible for the input impedance of your operational amplifier. And next is, to provide the necessary gain for the circuit, we will be using the intermediate stage. So where the intermediate stage is going to be again a differential amplifier, where we are going to have a dual input unbalanced output. Unbalanced output means only from one terminal or one collector terminal of your differential amplifier will be taking the output there. And next is, the output of this intermediate stage is going to be given to a level shifting stage. So level shifting stage is basically an emitter follower which is going to act as a constant current source. So you know that, so level shifting stages, as I said earlier, if the input voltages are going to be 0, my output voltage should be 0. Because of the variation in your transistor parameters or the beta parameters of your transistor, the output level will not be 0. So to make that output level to be 0, I am going to use a level shifting stage, where this level shifting stage is going to be constructed with the help of an emitter follower circuit, where it is going to act as a constant current source. So to provide the necessary current gain for the circuit, you will be using your level shifting stage or your emitter follower stage. Next, the output of this level shifting stage will be given to an output stage, where output stage is going to be a common complementary symmetry push-pull amplifier there. So here we say that your direct coupled high gain amplifier, it can be used in the range of frequencies from 0 to 1 megahertz there. So here by using a feedback we can control the response of the circuit, as well as the gain and the bandwidth of the circuit can also be varied there. So here the op amp is going to exhibit the gain which is going to be down to frequency. Thank you.